Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and these are my thoughts on Alien Earth, Episode 4.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Yes, Alien Earth, Episode 4. Yeah, I'm a few days behind in terms of managing to get this watched and to put this review out, so apologies there. I'm going to try and keep this as brief as I possibly can, because everybody else has done reviews long before I've got to it, but there you go. But I think this episode, if it is literally halfway through, I can't remember how many episodes they are actually doing for this show, but if this is halfway through the series, then this show epitomizes a point quite starkly, where you will stick with it or you will jump off. And I think that's purely because of a plot point within this episode, which even I went, oh, okay. And there's some callbacks. I think there's a connection to be had with possibly the one of the worst Alien films, Alien Resurrection. I'll get to that. But I think there are some other little side stories as well that I think we're in danger of losing a bit of pace with, purely because we're not really spending much time with them. And if the next episode is what I've sort of read that it is, then we are literally cutting pace there as well. So the episode kind of plays out, and there are spoilers here, I do apologise, but there are spoilers, and the episode kind of plays out that Mary discovers how to basically speak in the fucking Xenomorph language.
Clever girl.
Which is wild. Absolutely wild. It's a bit goofy, I think, for me. I don't think it has that. I guess what they're trying to do is craft something that looks really unnerving and unsettling, but it doesn't come across as unsettling. I think there was a way that this possibly could be done that would come across as unsettling and maybe a bit scary. But it's a bit goofy for me, and I think that is the point, I think, where people will go, oh, really? And kind of drift off, maybe. I don't know. I've not really looked into it. I've not really looked at what other people's thoughts are. But that's where it sits with me. I'm going to stick with it, obviously, because I don't think that's the be-all and end-all. But we had this in Alien Resurrection, didn't we? I think, and I've only watched that film once, twice. I think I can't stand it. It's dreadful. But I think it was the ability to communicate with them. I think in that. Forgive me again. I can't remember too much of it, but there was obviously that point where Sigourney Weaver's where Ripley's talking to the offspring in that one, and oh god, it's just dreadful, isn't it? And it didn't work. And here it's played a little bit differently. I think it's played in the guise that clearly Boy Cavalier is going to see this as an opportunity to weaponize and have Mary be able to control these creatures. But then I can't help but think of Jurassic fucking World and the fucking controlling of the raptors and how ludicrous it was and how it just completely took away some horror from the raptors, and we've never recovered from it, have we? We never recovered from Blue. Fucking Blue. Fuck off. Great at selling toys, just like Grogu, but we're not going to have plushy, kid-friendly xenomorphs, are we, that we can control like Furbies in your house? No, we're not going to have any of that shit. So there's that point where I'm like, I can see what they're trying to do. They're going to do the whole, we can control the xenomorphs for our own gain. It's not going to end well. We know it's not going to end well, and that'd be the fascinating thing about it, if it all just going wrong. But that's literally the crux of this episode. There's developments for all the other lost boys, as it were. One of them's turning into a psychopath. One of them's becoming prideful and chooses a different name. The other one is lost completely and is going to betray everyone, potentially get somebody ingested by one of the facehuggers. They're all just falling apart. They're all becoming miserable, dishevelled husks. The whole grand experiment of the synthetics, the cyborgs, and all this kind of stuff, it's clearly not going to go right Of course, you have Mary, who is the perfect. She's the chosen one, if you like. But something's clearly going to happen there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I think the most interesting part of this episode, I think, is not even in relation to the Xenomorphs, really. Yeah, we do have this communication being established on the one that is in the long hatches, if you like, and jumps out, and Wendy manages to fucking talk to it, and it almost does like a weird sort of head tilt, like a little fucking lost puppy. When you mention the word walkies, or in our case with our dog, bless him, he's at the Rainbow Bridge now, but he used to tilt his head when you said Lego shop. Brilliant. It does that, and that's supposed to be an unnerving, unsettling moment, but again, the guttural voice work that's coming out, which is obviously it's not hers, it's all fabricated. It's just goofy. It's the only word I can describe it. It's a goofy moment where I wasn't going, oh, I was going, oh, I wish he'd done something else. And I think that's the thing. I wish it was something else. But never mind. The moment I was getting to, it's just a fucking terrifying moment, is the eye-octopus fucking creature that was in the cat from the first or second episode, whichever one that was. Fuck me, that creature's fucking terrifying. That is like dread level creature work there. And there's more dread there than there is with the fucking Xenomorphs at this point. But that eye-octopus thing, they unleash it into a cage with a sheep, and it takes over, it pulls the sheep's eye out and takes over its brain.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
And there's this fucking weird moment where it's quite clearly this creature, this eye-octopus thing, is sentient. It can hear, it can listen, it's observing, it's learning as well, that's fucking terrifying. And I think that the most interesting thing in the entire episode for me, more than being able to communicate with the Xenomorphs, that's just horror, pure horror, absolute horror. And it'll be interesting to see where that goes, because obviously they're going to take that somewhere, because that's the only other exo-alien, if you like, separate alien, out of all of them that they've brought back, where we've had a distinct focus on, where we've seen the experimentation with it. So that's fascinating. And you know damn well that someone is going to get that in their eye. It's going to happen. Boy Cavalier is sort of looking at it with a bit of wonder. Timothy Oliphant's character, God, his name escaped me. Timothy Oliphant's character is looking at it purely out of curiosity in terms of education and science, and he's testing it by moving around, and the eyes following him. And Boy Cavalier, however, seems to try and treat it as something childlike. He has this childlike wonder. He's trying to communicate it with it as though it's a pet. And you know what happens when people do that with creatures like this. It all goes fucking wrong, doesn't it? So that, for me, is an interesting thing to keep an eye on going forward. The story is continuing. Again, we have the dialogues about what happens if these synthetics don't work. At worst, it's a failed experiment that's resulted in the deaths of children, which is, that's one of the characters literally puts it out like that, and it's a horrifying thing to think of. But still, we are halfway through, and my worry is that the next episode is going to be on the downed ship, where we see what happened on the downed ship, maybe in clips or flashbacks or something, but is that going to take away some of the urgency from what we've established? Some of these characters need, continuing buffering to really make us care about, what's going to happen to them, because not all of these characters are going to survive. I'd be surprised if any of them, apart from maybe Wendy and fucking Timothy Oliphant's character, make it out alive. I think everybody else is up for grabs in terms of being face hugged or having the fucking eye taken out by eye-octopus boy. Yeah, I think we're literally at a crux point, I think. And if you were struggling up until now, I think this episode won't have helped, purely because of not the bizarreness, but oh, really? We're doing this again? We're doing the whole trying to communicate with Xenomorphs. I suppose we just have to hope that the Xenomorphs just rise up and fuck everyone up, don't we? Along with Octopus Boy, eye-octopus, whatever the fuck he is. So yeah, I'm going to leave this there as a bit of a nonchalant, windy review. This, as you can tell, I've done it on my phone again because my computer is fucking, it's a nightmare. But that's why I've ordered a new one. So yeah, bit of change going on. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I know it's late, this review, in terms of, release date and everything like that, but it is what it is. I do work. So, but thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the review, like I said, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. What are your thoughts on this? Where do you think this show is going? Where do you think these characters are going? Do you think the Xenomorphs are going to start reciting Shakespeare with Wendy, or more poetry, or more analogies about Peter Pan, which we just can't escape from, can we? But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one, unless it gets in my eye and starts controlling my nervous system. Wait, that's terrifying. That's what we're going to have to deal with, I think, going forward. Somebody having that scenario played out to them. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.